China, socialism, and the Fed. Oh my. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line. Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Passover. I hope you all had a blessed Good Friday. Oh, boy. Well, obviously, markets don't care about bad news. They just continue to go higher again. And again, a lot of it has to do with, of course, the free money Fed. It's no longer Helicopter Ben. Now it's, Bazooka Jerry is dropping money like it's crazy. And of course, in 2008, we went through 4 trillion. We're already up to 8 trillion now. Okay. And of course, who's going to pay for that? Well, we know who's going to pay for it. We are. Okay. Again, another bum deal for the tax-paying middle class. Another, put your great-grandchildren into hock. Again, instead of letting those who are not strong enough to make it through fail. I don't quite understand it, but again, I'm just here. I mean, we believe in the Fed like they know something, and of course, as I've said for months, that they would eventually screw this up. And so 7 interventions in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Again, we got to get the economy open, not worry about, printing free money, which is not helping anything anyways, because it's not stimulating the overall economy. But, hey, what can I tell you? This is the go read The Creature from Jekyll Island. You'll get the gist of what's going on here. Okay, you can go check out England if you want. I mean, again, central banking is ridiculous. It's a joke, and they're clueless. Okay, and that's about as all I can really say. Is my opinion. And of course, Ron Paul. Let's at least audit the Fed and see what the hell's going on. Okay, but of course they are driving for their own digital currency. Okay, they want the Bitcoin. But they don't want the Bitcoin, they want the Fed coin, okay? Which means they already have an endless supply of printing, but then they can hide it better, okay? Behind a digital currency. Plus the fact that they can then track you from the time you're born to the time you drop, okay? Because there is nothing done without a transaction that shows with it. So, let's certainly be willing to sign over more of our rights, okay, and run, which leads to what? I'll leave it up to you, but I think it was in my introduction, okay? Again, it's almost laughable, and of course, I think, we've got obviously the coronavirus, which is still creating havoc throughout the country. Obviously, most of the country is shut down. A lot of these small businesses will never reopen, unfortunately, very tragic. The events are tragic. I think you're going to see, unfortunately, a lot are going to go out of business here. And even some of the big ones are going to go out of business because, again, certainly without revenue, without employees, without anything, it's hard to stay in business. And I think this is going to be the tragedy here that's going to be created. But yet the markets continue to go higher, which we'll talk about in our market segment later. But in the meantime, they do continue to go higher, which just goes back to prove that it's always about price action. Okay. But again, the news is horrible, and I think it only gets worse first. Now, again, I'm very confident that at some stage, in some place, we will certainly turn it all around, and we will be stronger for it. But I think that one of the bigger problems is when you let these things delay, okay, and you try to manipulate the economy around a situation to avoid the recession, you end up with a depression, which is going to be worse overall. But again, this obviously will get solved. Okay, this is not, there will be a cure, and I think it'll be faster than usual. You've got the entire world working on it. Again, I don't know, other than the fact that how fast it spreads, I don't know how damaging or serious it is, other than for the elderly and infants, which is obviously always the case with the flu as well. We'll see where it goes. But again, I am confident that there will be something in the works and we'll get something going. I am confident that there'll be a baseball season that'll probably start, and with the new way they're going to do it without fans for now, and in the desert and in Florida, I think there's a good chance there still will be football. Okay, so again, we need to start getting parts of the country open and getting back to business, because again, otherwise we will never survive through this. And of course, with many not working, it becomes a bigger tragedy. And of course, a lot of this has to do with, the whole setup. And I guess the real question is China to blame? Did China leak this virus on purpose? Okay, again, I don't have the idea. I'm not going to hazard a guess, but that is an ongoing theory that it's almost like chemical warfare. Okay. Now, again, obviously, some of the doctors and scientists that wanted to talk about it no longer exist. So there's always something funny going on. And again, I don't know, and I am not accusing, but I am saying that certainly the Communist Party of China has got a lot of reasons to do what they have. And certainly when you look at the World Health Organization, okay, which is a joke, okay, I mean, again, are they not one-sided? Can we not say that they're totally one-sided here? Okay, I mean, really, this is a totally one-sided organization that is only concerned about appeasing China or trying to help China take over and be the world's superpower, which they will not get to, okay, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, again, they will not surpass the United States, but they are certainly getting a lot of help, okay, in trying it. And this is, again, I don't know about what do they call it, the wetlands or whatever it is, the food or whatever that could have caused it from what they eat. That I don't, again, it's above my pay grade. But again, it certainly appears to me that between the World Health, the WHO and the WTO, they more often side with the Chinese on that side of the equation, which only means to me, very much like, the central banking system around the world, they're trying to manipulate things. It appears to me that those organizations are trying to manipulate something to somebody else's favor. Okay. Now, again, I believe we will be fine. I believe we'll get through this. But of course, you've got these monster unemployment claims each and every week. And again, are we surprised? I think this is one of the things that always troubles me is, are we surprised? And you shouldn't be surprised. We knew it was coming, okay? And interestingly enough, the last 3 jobless claims, which normally I put no credence into, nor do I now, but the last 3 jobless claims, the last 3 Thursdays where we had the first big impacts of these, you saw dramatic sell-offs into the number and then dramatic rallies from that point on, which again goes back to the simple point. If you try to trade the news, you lose. You're never going to make money if you try to trade on news. You have no chance. Okay, so it's nice to see that a majority of Americans, okay, for all you Trump haters, a majority of Americans are in agreement with President Trump on who's to fault and who's to blame her, which is, I do believe that is China. Okay, and I also believe you can put some of the blame on New York. Okay, because again they kind of ignored it for a while. And that is one of the big petri dishes in the world, that and the Strip in Las Vegas. Now, Las Vegas was first to shut down everything, okay? And again, I think at the end that will be better overall. Obviously, it's tragic for the help. It's tragic for the employees. It's tragic for all those businesses. But I think overall it will be better longer run and we'll get it done. But again, so why should we be surprised? Obviously, the job is going to continue to rise. People are going to continue to not be working. So we shouldn't be surprised. Now, at some point, that will turn the corner when we start to see the economy open up again, and it will open up again at some point. And again, as I said earlier, I do think it will be faster, sooner rather than later, because again, you've got the smartest people in the world working on a cure or a vaccine, and I believe that they will come up with it, and I believe it will be rather quickly. I think it may be faster than anybody thinks. So we'll see how that works out. Now, again, we should be not surprised about any of this thing is, and of course, just another bonehead move by CalPERS, okay, the California pension system, okay, surprise, they make another bonehead move and miss out on $1 billion for their pension because they took off their hedge to the markets. They had a great hedge on through an insurance policy and took it off. Again, do you wonder why people trust these pension funds? Okay, they're all bust. Okay, again, this is the biggest problem, very similar to the Social Security problem, is that the people running them don't use the due diligence that's meant to go along with these things. Okay, they use the money for other things. So again, why? You were set up perfectly. Okay, you've got the entire California system pension plan there, and you let it slip through your fingers. Okay, why are we trying to debate what's going to happen? You're supposed to protect that money. You're supposed to try to grow that money because obviously you're well underfunded to begin with. I mean, many are still underfunded from the 90s. Okay, I mean, I know the Illinois teachers' pension hasn't been refunded since since the year 2000. Okay, I mean, what's going to happen when these pensions come due? You know, it's amazing how these things get to slip by major systems. It's amazing with all the regulations and rules out there that these pension funds continue to do the same dumb things over and over again, okay, which will eventually torture elderly Americans that are looking for their pension. Eventually, it's going to run out, okay? I don't see how they ever solve that problem, okay? I do think that you're going to start to see some action in the cryptocurrencies here, as we start to see some action in gold as well, but I think there's some action coming. And again, we're not making any dramatic predictions. Okay, you know where I stand in cryptocurrencies. I mean, listen, I own some. I'm not a lot. And if I lost it, I'm not going to lose 1 minute's worth of sleep. I would never take a big position here, but I would certainly accumulate a little bit. I would certainly buy a little bit. Okay, but again, I believe that you're seeing we're doing the best job that we can right now. And I think the next big step is we need to get the country start to open again. Okay, you've got some martial law going on in some communities. Okay, but I think we need to get back to a point where we're going to get open. But again, the big crowds, the big atmospheres will not be back in operation. That I would say for almost probably a year would make sense, right? The stadiums, concerts, theater, crowded restaurants. I mean, this is going to be still a problem, which again, hence doesn't make a lot of sense for why the markets are so positive. But again, one reason you can think about is that free money, okay? Again, you got that free money flowing out for those who have access to it. Where are they going to put the money? They're going to go in the equity markets because even if the markets go down, okay, which they probably will, okay, and we'll talk more about that market, but even if they go down, if you base on history and statistics, okay, if you're going to borrow it under 3% and you know that what you're putting it into has an average over its history of 8.5%, that's a pretty good arbitrage. It's a pretty good trade. So we'll see. And we'll talk more about the markets when we come back from our break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Happy Easter, everybody. Easter Sunday. And of course, we always appreciate you spending some time with us. We'll be out for a break. We'll be right back. So everybody, I hope you had a great holiday weekend. And of course, you're enjoying your family. It's very tough, right? We've been doing a lot of Zooming to see friends and things. In the meantime, I want to remind you that, we've got some great webinars on tap that we've done. We'd love to share them with you. Especially our micro minis made highs again. We're on a roll. We recovered now from our little bit of a drawdown. And of course, we know that drawdowns happen. But again, if you want those recordings, just email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. And of course, you got to check out our brokerage partners. First of all, CTG for futures and commodities. And of course, they handle all of our letter direction trading. Plus, they've got some great new stuff that they're working on. Okay, so please check them out. You can get me an email from me and I'll give you that information in a minute. And of course, our equity partner is Trader. Okay, Trader does a great job. Truly free commissions, just $10 a month flat. No other fees, no 65 cents, no hidden fees there for you. They do a great job as well. And again, the organization that we do business with both have great customer service. And I think that it's great to be there. So if you want to get a hold of them, just email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. And of course, don't forget about our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. And we're going to get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with yours truly right now. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz on Sunday, Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, everybody. Okay, happy Passover. Again, so what did we have? Well, amazingly, in a short holiday week, markets went soaring higher. Okay, it was interesting. I mean, it started up right from the beginning. Monday skyrocketed. Tuesday skyrocketed again before failing late in the day, which looked like that it might have been the top. And then, of course, bang, bang, up and up. Okay, up and away. It's interesting. How can the markets continue to go up? And this is why, again, I talk about this all the time. If you trade the news, you lose. You got to have your head examined. Okay, there's no chance to beat it, which we saw with the equities and crude oil last week. For people who tried to play the news, they're licking their wounds right now over this holiday weekend because, again, you can't beat it. Okay, you got to understand price and how price movement. So in the meantime, equities, we are long across the board. Okay, we reversed the NASDAQ earlier in the week, so now we're long everything. Okay, now again, Am I happy being along here? I'm not comfortable because, again, I don't like what's going on. I do think there's a lot more coming, but price action tells me, and if I turn out to be wrong, I will reverse. So again, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to worry about what the price is telling us and the market footprint. That's how the algorithms work that we use. Okay. Again, even trading manually, you have to understand price action and forget about everything else. In the meantime, we did reverse oil last week, as I told you. And of course, oil spiked up this week, which we thought was a deal in the case. Because why? Well, certainly because it got so depressed. Okay. Number one, May oil, okay, got down under $20. And of course, you could see in the formation, we talked about it, backwardation or contango. We were in contango. And even when May oil was under 20, June oil was still like 23, 24. Okay. And as you went out in time, it got more expensive. And that is a bullish formation, especially in a commodity that is so far depressed that it was oversold into to begin with. So the pop was not a surprise. And the huge rally on Thursday on the announcement was no surprise, but more so the break after that rally was expected. Okay. Gold looks like it's going to Pluto now. It looks like it's finally broken out. Okay. Again, we've been bullish gold. We've been long gold. And as I was told you, I was concerned, but we started to break new levels. And you can now see the solid footprint is higher. Okay. We stayed long through times that were a little tenuous, but we were able to stay long through them. And here we are. Okay. As they start to move higher again. Okay. And again, to me, look, can we make the all-time new highs? Yeah. I mean, we go higher than that. But right now, I think the next target that we'll be watching for is 1790 to 1800. Okay. You know, we got and broke through those highs. We came up and tested it on that big panic on Monday or Tuesday night, came back all the way down, and then bang, here we are going through it. So again, it looks to me we go higher. Okay. And certainly, again, we're long, so that's all good. It's all good. Okay. And of course, the bond markets continue to push up. Now, again, they've had their moments of pushing down, and then they, of course, push back up. But we do expect, obviously, interest rates should continue to fall. I don't know how much more they're going to fall, but they should continue to fall. And of course, we will sit here and be ready. And we are long bonds and long notes, and we expect it. No, by the way, sorry, silver and platinum also look good. Silver is starting to break out a little bit, in which the 16 will be the next key in the futures. And of course, platinum is up, pushing against some resistance, but could break out, and we could see, all three take off. And of course, the bonds should continue higher, and we'll see how that all ends up and works out. And the dollar, okay, as we said last Sunday, okay, the dollar is going to up at resistance. Okay, we're short the dollar, and we would expect it to come back down. Now it's testing support, so we'll see. Will it break down, which is what the Fed would like it to do? Okay, or would it go back and take it down? Now we're short dollars. Okay, so obviously we would like to see it continue to go lower, but again, it would not surprise me if it bounces from these levels. Okay, but again, we'll see how this whole model works out. Okay, but it's certainly interesting as to how we will see the ending of this. But in the meantime, it is what it is, and that's what happens, which is the dollar being a fear asset where other countries are buying U.S. dollars because they're afraid of what's going on in the world. I mean, we are in a global depression, recession, okay? And of course, the grain market's still very interesting, okay? I mean, corn continues to struggle. Wheat continues to be strong, and it looks like soybeans might finally have found an area to start to move forward from, which would be nice, okay? Again, we believe that all the grains, now we are short corn, long wheat, long soybeans. We believe that all of them will start to go higher and move much higher. But at the end of the day, okay, again, we're not going to fight. Again, we're not going to fight the price action, despite my opinion, okay, which I believe they're going to go higher. But again, why not, as long as I'm playing the algorithm, why not try to take advantage of the move down before they move back up? And of course, we get to the meats. I mean, they've been absolutely wild and devastating at the same time, because they've had some major moves up, right? We had in hogs 2 weeks ago, we had limit down, limit down, limit down. Then we had a couple limit up days this week before falling late in the week. Cattle, same thing, up, 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 and then a little bit of pressure. Again, it's very challenging to be a farmer today, to be in the agricultural business, because the market is under so much pressure. There's a huge variance in cash to futures. There's a lot of issues out there in general, okay? And I think part of it's got to do with the banking, because, again, there's a lot of pressure because of the low prices. Banks get nervous, force people out. But I think at the end of the day, I believe the ag space is the place to be. Green Acres is the place to be. I think the ag space is the place to be here. And I know that our algorithms will turn shortly on any reasonable rally, although we are short the meats across the board. But I do expect a turn. But again, the longer they hold down here, the closer we get to buying them, which is cool, because, again, obviously I'd like to buy them somewhere down here anyways as I look for them to go higher. But again, I will stay short them until the model changes. I'm not going to, again, not going to try to outguess, outsmart, or outthink it, okay? Because, again, when you do that, you end up with a handful of what, okay? So at the end of the day, look, the markets go up until they don't go up. Now, you can make all the bear cases you want, okay? But at the end of the day, if you had made a bear case 2 weeks ago, you'd be bust, okay? That's why you're here to make profits, not to become a profit. Do not try to outsmart, outthink, or outsharp the market, because the market at the end of the day is always right, okay? If you think it's not right, you're wrong, okay? If you think you're smarter than the market, you're wrong. You will never outbeat the market, because the market trades every single day. It never gets sick, never gets tired, and it just continues to roll. So learn to trade price action and quit trying to outsmart it, because those who do end up outside the business and never making any real money, because they can't hold their investments, they can't hold their trades, because they're too busy trying to figure out and be smarter than everybody else. Okay. So at the end of the day, that's really what it is. The market for now, they go up. Now, again, could that change tomorrow? Yeah, it could change tomorrow. It could change anything. Okay. There's no knowing when it's going to change or not. Okay. But for now, they go up. It's pretty much that simple. In the meantime, we're going to step out of a break and come back with my commentary right after the break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, happy Passover. We'll be right back. So, kids, and of course, everybody, we want to make sure we remind you of our webinars we have. Okay, obviously, we've got some very good webinars in place, and would like to make sure that you have an opportunity to view them if you want. Okay, that's one thing that we like to do is if you want to view them, of course, we want to make sure that you have that opportunity. Okay, I mean, certainly like to share and show you what we got, and they're free. So again, if you want to become a subscriber and be another happy subscriber, but if you want anything there, just email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. I'll be happy to send them to you. My hedging guys are thrilled out of their mind, and as well as the futures and equity portfolio guys, they're also thrilled out of their mind. So it'd be great to have you. But again, hey, it's up to you. In the meantime, don't forget about our brokerage partners, Tradier for equities, truly free brokerage. Okay, just $10 a month flat. Okay, and trade all you want. And of course, they do a great job, got great customer service. And then, of course, for futures and commodities, CTG Group, they do a great job. They answer the phone when you got a problem, when you got a question. They do all of our letter direction trading. So please check them out. Okay. For both of them, you can send me an email at bubba@bubbatrading.com. I'll be happy to send you their links. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horwitz. Of course, every week I give you a couple of things of what I'm thinking about. And, really what I think today, okay, is that, obviously we're in a very devastating time in America, very sad for many, okay? Not only has there been an excruciating amount of death and sickness, but of course, obviously business devastation and things that are just bad. I mean, again, you can't sugarcoat what's going on. It's very sad, and hopefully we will get it resolved quickly. Unfortunately, it will never be quick enough for many, okay? And this is where it really is a tragedy, okay, that so many people are fighting against the President of the United States, who is trying to do the right thing, and yet Pelosi and Schumer continue to stand in the way of real progress. Okay, the left continues to want to place blame and look for ways to impeach this president versus help him get it solved. Okay, So it shows you what a lack of care that those people have for Americans. Okay, it shows you their disdain for you. You may be a left person, but just look at what they do for you. Okay, they've stood in the way of everything that this president has tried to do since he came into office. But yet here we are once again watching them try to destroy. And they're probably thinking about this as an advantage for them that they can maybe win back the White House. In the meantime, don't you find it interesting that Barack Obama has not endorsed Joe Biden yet? Okay. Does that tell you that maybe he's not thrilled with their choice as well? Again, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, so it'd be nice that if we be remembered that we are Americans first, not politicians first. It'd be nice if we took care of the health and welfare of this country as what they're paid to do and what they got elected to do, instead of stealing from Americans and doing nothing. Okay. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Happy Easter, everybody. Have a happy Passover. I always thank you so much for being a part of the show. And in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. And if not, we'll see you next week with another Bubba's Bottom Line. Have a great holiday, everybody. Be healthy. Stay safe. Let's get this over with, and hopefully we'll have better news about the virus next week when we talk. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you later.